to our first St. Thomas Speaks, a community partnership initiative that includes St. Thomas Public Library, St. Thomas Elgin Local Immigration Partnership, YWCA Settlement Services, and Railway City Tourism. Joining us today is Chloe Ngakosso, and she's a 15-year-old entrepreneur who is creating change in our community and empowering others to act. Here's Chloe. Thank you for joining us, Chloe. So through your brand, Afroqueens, you design T-shirts, and here are some of them, using your own artwork. And these T-shirts send messages of empowerment, of confidence, and pride. So do you want to tell us a little bit about how you got started with Afroqueens?
Well, I got started with Afroqueens because a while back in November, I had a racial incident happen to me at my school, and the school board wasn't doing anything about it. So we went to my school board again, and they still wouldn't do anything about it. So I decided to protest in front of the school board. And I remember feeling like really empowered when doing it, and I wanted to keep fighting against discrimination. So I decided that I wanted to do something more permanent, and I wanted to do it where I didn't have to publicly speak and in a more creative way. So I decided that I was going to make T-shirts with empowering messages and take actions to kind of fight discrimination and racism.
That's absolutely phenomenal. Chloe, tell me a little bit about the process with your art, because I think the fact that you are designing your own T-shirts, like these are everything here is you. So tell us a little bit about that process. Like, have you been drawing and painting for ages, or like since you were this one?
Well, yeah, I've been drawing since forever, but my two original paintings were made with acrylic paints. Okay. And when I designed these queens, I use digital art because it's very convenient and it makes the lines a lot easier, because when I transfer them to the Cricut, the lines have to be very precise or else it'll cut out every little detail.
Right. Yeah. That's pretty, wow. Yeah. Oh, I love that. They're just pretty amazing. And so your T-shirts, have you actually opened your shop officially? I mean, I know it's an online, but is that officially open, or is it opening in April?
My shop is opening closer to the end of April. We actually didn't open at all. We got one shirt picture out, and then kind of the media got a hold of it and kind of went crazy from there. So we're still building up to the opening.
Okay, that's fantastic, yeah. And so you just collaborated with St. Thomas Elgin Local Immigration Partnership on the community's first Diversify Your Art. What does it mean to you? And this is a project to commemorate the United Nations International Day of the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, IDIRD, on Sunday, March 21st. Now, you've been running workshops, is that right? And encouraging people in the community to share their experiences. So this must be something that is, helpful in asking people to share their experiences of diversity through their art. And you see this as continuing, right? Like the first one is this year and small, and then maybe next year a bit bigger, and building on what you started with this partnership, right? Yeah, no, that sounds fantastic. How did you feel when you first arrived here? Can you remember back? What do you say? Six years now? Yeah, 7? Yeah.
Well, in that part of my life, a lot of stuff was going on. When I first moved here, I was actually very confident, but then I kind of got bullied, right? And
Yeah.
I was bullied a lot, and I was bullied for my skin and for my last name, and so my confidence level went really low. But for the most part, I didn't really see racism like out in the city,
Yeah.
but more in schools. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, what would you like to see in the community in the next 5 years? Like, when we ask that question, it's more about like, how would you like to see the community grow, maybe? And if there is something specific that you would like to see develop, or something that maybe even from another place that where you have friends or family, some initiatives or things that they have that might be beneficial for St. Thomas, based on, you know, what you can see from your perspective. Yeah.
Well, I think that right now I would want change maybe in schools. I know that they're working really hard right now because of everything that's going on. They're making a lot of changes. I just would want to see that stays later on, when maybe, because the BLM movement right now is really, really strong, and
Yes.
but what happens with these kind of things is they tend to fade out, and I want to see that the school keeps trying 5 years down the road when maybe it's not so strong in the community.
Right. Okay. Okay. No, I think, yes, and I totally understand what you're saying, and I think with what you're doing already, taking very concrete steps. I mean, the whole diversify your art and your Afroqueens whole brand, the whole branding. I think those are very concrete. I mean, they're not going anywhere. Right? So that helps, and perhaps schools may get involved in some aspect, especially with the diversify your art. Maybe next year we get a whole lot of schools involved. What would be the one thing that, like your one thing that you would want the community to know about St. Thomas? Like that, when people come here and they say, oh, you know, there's nothing to do here, but it's maybe they just don't know about it. Is there one particular thing that stands out?
Well, what I like about St. Thomas is the elevated park. It's very colorful, and I like all of the pieces of art. I like to look at it, and they kind of turned something that was really upsetting into something really joyful.
Yes. Ditto. I absolutely love the elevated park also. Chloe, thank you so much for joining us today. It really has been such a pleasure, and we look forward to more amazing, great things from you. You have, for someone who's not even 16 years old yet, oh my word, what an inspiration. Thanks again for joining us. You're welcome.